Yes, yes, yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We are back again for a match preview ahead of our trip to Watford tomorrow. As we all know, start of the Easter weekend. Very busy weekend for us, but really looking forward to it. Obviously, two big games. And see where we are after the two games. But yeah, as I always do, big up to Let's Talk Sports. Fantastic platform that help YouTubers grow their platforms. I really do appreciate them. Big up to them. Go and subscribe to their channel, and obviously their Twitter. Obviously, I'm live across their platforms on their YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook as well. So big up to them. And as well, obviously, as we know, I will be going live. This is first show of two tonight. Very busy for me as well. I will be bringing you a watch along to obviously the game later on as England women take on Brazil women in the final of the Finaliziana, obviously at Wembley. Nice, such a hat I messed out. But yeah, anyway, obviously Euro 22 winners taking on the Copa America winners. It's going to be a really exciting game actually. So I'm really excited to bring that to the channel later on. And I would really love your company as well. We are starting that from 7:30, so come and tune in for that as well. But yeah, big up to everybody that's obviously supported the channel lately. Obviously, we're about 12 subscribers away from 300. Sorry, and it really means a lot to me if we can get there, like I say. But yeah, anyway, we're going to get going with the preview now, obviously. I'm not alone, of course. I've got my guest coming on, who obviously has been on the channel numerous times, and I think he's a great guest, and it's great to keep bringing him back on, of course. So we're going to get him in now. Of course, it is Ben. Welcome in there. How are you doing?
I'm good, pal. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining us
Of course, man.
again.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I want to get into the comments before we do start because we have got numerous comments. Yeah, big up to Orest as always, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, like I said, please make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe if you are new. But big up to Orest, always there supporting me as always. And Joseph's in. Hello to you. I'm doing okay, thank you. I hope you're doing well, mate. And thank you for coming back in again. And George is in. Big up, Ryan. Good evening. Good evening to you, mate. I hope you're doing well as well. Rams is in. Evening to you. Thank you for coming back in. I hope you're doing well too. He says, always love these fixtures. Best part about being in the EFL. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's the Easter weekend's always busy for us in the EFL. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. Aiden's in. I think I can beat Watford. Are you with me? Yeah, of course. The famous Neil Warnock, are you with me? Saying at the end of most of what he says. It always makes me laugh when he says that, you know. But yeah, but yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get into the preview. Obviously, we do take on Watford. We travel to Vicarage Road tomorrow afternoon. Obviously, it will be available to watch on the Sky Sports app or the red button if you do have Sky. So obviously, be tuning in. Yeah, obviously the last meeting we had with them, obviously we lost 2-0, if you remember, in the home game. In our first home game after the World Cup break in December, if you remember. So hopefully we can put things right in this one. Obviously Watford do sit 11th in the table at the moment. 39 points. They are 6 points away from the playoff places. So still within a slim chance of getting that. But, you know, they were in the playoffs at one point and they dropped out, and they've really dropped, they really dropped out of favour, really, to be honest with you, to go. But that's how tight the championship is. If you go on a bit of a losing run or a few bad results, you can be adrift again. But obviously they're coming to the game on the back of a 2-0 loss away at Luton. And obviously we, obviously Well, no, I'll say they've won one, drawn two, lost two of the last 5 games. Chris Wilder obviously appointed as manager at the beginning of March on a contract till the end of the season after obviously Slaven Bilic was dismissed. For me, I think Chris Wilder's a great manager. Obviously, he's did very well at Sheffield United during his time there. Obviously, got them to the Premier League, his boyhood club. So he was born in Sheffield as well, so obviously that connection there with them. And yeah, he's a really good manager, to be fair. Although Mr. Warnock and Wilder don't get on that much, as we all know. He refuses to say his name, Warnock. There is that really bitterness about the relationship. I don't know what's happening, but I can hear.
Yeah, it's my dog. My dog's going insane.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. No, it's fine. It's just, but yeah, what do you make of Chris Wilder then? I mean, yeah, what do you make of him?
I think he's a class manager. You know what he did with Sheffield United. You know it's something very special. And honestly, the position he got them in the Premier League as well within their first season, I thought that was something special to watch. And obviously, you know, going down the second season, the same with us. Realistically, it happens. But did he get into a manager role after Sheffield, or am I?
Yeah, it was at Middlesbrough. It didn't work out there. It didn't last long at Middlesbrough. Yeah, he took over after Warnock. He took over after Warnock, and yeah, obviously it didn't work out there, and he was out the door quite quickly. To be fair, I think I remember he wasn't there long at all. So yeah, but I go back to sometimes clubs just don't fit. It doesn't mean he's a bad manager because he had a bit of a tough time at Borough. It just didn't fit there. So, but yeah, I agree with you. Like I say, he's a great manager. For me, obviously, ones to watch for tomorrow. My first player I've gone for is Kamara. Obviously, the left side. Obviously, Watford play 3-5-2, so obviously this guy plays on the left side defender, obviously of the three. Obviously, he's been there a couple of years. Obviously, he's a very good player, to be fair. So he made a couple of assists in his appearances as well. So for me, we're going to have to try and, cause him all sorts of problems, and hopefully we do. But, he's a very strong defender, actually. So we're going to have to, obviously look out for him. Second player for me is João Pedro. Obviously, he's the joint top scorer for Watford this season, alongside Sarr, who is, of course, my next name I've picked out as someone to look out for. Obviously, Pedro has scored 9 goals, created 3 assists in the 29 appearances he's made. Obviously, 21 years of age, still young, but he's a very talented youngster. So he scored his first Premier League goal for Watford against Manchester United, and then obviously went on to score 2 more that season in the 21-22 season, of course, when they were in the Premier League against Newcastle. And obviously, as I was saying, obviously Sarr is another name, very good, very quick, very pacey. And these players cause all sorts of problems at our place. When we're at home. So we're going to have to be wary of these. So he's got 9 goals, well, obviously, same as Pedro. He's got 6 assists though this season. Obviously he's been there a few years. Obviously, in his debut season at Watford in the Premier League, Sarr scored 6 times, including the brace against Liverpool in a 3-0 win. So he's 25 years of age. He won Watford's Player of the Season award in the 2020-21 season, as he scored 13 goals and created 4 assists as the Hornets won immediate promotion back to the Premier League from the Championship. Have you picked out any names that you feel we should look out for tomorrow?
I've said Pedro and Salah the exact same as you for the reasons you've stated. But I've also said Hamza Choudhury.
Yeah,
as well.
Good point. Leicester player. Yeah, I remember him from a good
shout.
Yeah,
I think from what I've seen of him, is technically he's very good, and he's very, for a team like us, he's He's a scary player to play against. Similar with like the likes of Chong and Hannibal from Birmingham. I think that is very similar in the way that they play, quick, fast-moving football. And I think he should definitely be one if he just starts tomorrow. That we should, excuse me, just keep an eye on and just really pressure as much as we can when he gets on the ball.
Yeah, definitely. They've got a lot of quality, and I think that's why I'm a bit surprised they're that far. They're not really that, obviously 6 points. It is quite, but I was expecting to be close to the playoffs still at this stage, even if they were there earlier on in the season. I still expect them to be there, and I think a lot of expectation was that Watford were going to be up there as well. But yeah, obviously there's a big gap, obviously a 6 point gap now, so we're gonna have to see. But we still can't take them lightly, of course. It's still going to be a tough game against these. Joe says Sar Pedro and Davis. Oh yeah, Keenan Davis up front as well. Obviously the former Nottingham Forest player. I don't know if I think is he on loan at? I think he might be on loan at Watford. I don't know if he's still a Forest player.
I think he's on loan.
Yeah. So good shout there, Josie. Thank you for that. Obviously, Davis will be one to look out for too in the Watford side. And if Ramsey, if Watford actually stuck with a manager, they'd probably be challenged. I mean, yeah, that is a good point in it. Watford's model of sacking managers so easily just isn't sustainable. It really isn't. It's they really are a strange kind of approach they have to managers. You've got to give managers time, really. So yeah, they're a record maker for changing managers. That's for sure. But yeah, before. Oh yeah, so what are your thoughts on Watford this season? Then I mean, obviously they were around the playoffs at one point and obviously really doing well, but they've kind of dropped off, haven't they?
I think right now, with the form that they're in, I think we've got a very good chance of beating them, especially coming off the back of 2 massive wins against Millwall and Middlesbrough. But you don't know with Watford. Some days they turn up, some days they don't. It's like us. Some days we do turn up, some days we don't. But I think as long as we give it a good fight like we did against Middlesbrough, and you just put the work in and actually die for the 3 points, like Warnock says, I think we could actually win. And I do think Watford are a dangerous side, to play against with the amount of quality they've got, not only off the bench but on the pitch. But it just depends really. You can't really judge based on results because it all comes down to what happens on the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think both teams are a bit. You don't know what you're going to get. Kind of teams, they are. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, good points to be fair there. Blue Terry says João Pedro was the reason they beat. Yeah, he was. He was the big difference until the last time they came up against him. So yeah, they really are tricky attackers to come up against. Really, so our defence has got to be solid and not give any, not make any mistake, any big mistakes in key areas, or leave your runners. If you leave your runners, they're going to take a chance if you give it in. That's for sure. I mean, we've got to touch on this, but obviously, before we get into town side of things, are you feeling quite confident ahead of tomorrow? And what kind of game are you expecting as well tomorrow in terms of what Watford will try and do? And what are your thoughts?
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gonna be a very, very boring game.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those games where you look at it, you think, oh, Watford easy gonna win this, like from outside perspective. But I think as long as we give it a fight, we can make it an entertaining game on our half. But on their half, I just think that it's gonna be the same old Watford, really. Like they're just gonna play simple football and just counter where possible and just catch us slipping where we usually do slip up when it comes to us conceding goals. I do think it's going to be a close finish at the end of the game, though.
Yeah, but definitely. I think that if you would have asked this question a few weeks back, we probably would have been fearing going to Watford. But obviously, on the back of some results, I'm not saying I feel too confident, but I feel good about going tomorrow. Without being too overly confident, of course, because you always got to have that that cautiousness about it, because we don't know what team we're going to we don't know what kind of how we're going to turn up. even though I think we'll have a lot of confidence from the past 2 games. So I think that'll really help us in this game. But we just never know. It's about what happens on the day. So I do feel like we can get something, but I'm being very apprehensive as well because you just don't know in this league. It's crazy. Aiden says, "You think about it, we're free. We're free. Yeah, absolutely. We are obviously. I mean, like I say, 7 points from 9, the past 3. I mean, it's crazy against teams that obviously wanting to get in the playoffs. Obviously, are in the playoffs as well. Obviously, Millwall in the playoffs, and like certain Middlesbrough obviously up there as well. So yeah, who would have thought that? But yeah, we are doing very well for sure." Blue Terry says Pearson and Ward up front together. I did say Pearson is our centre. What did I say the other day? He is our centre back forward. Yeah. So yeah. He's what I love that. That made me smile. That, but yeah. Let's get into team news then. Obviously, we confirmed, of course. Now I did say it in the review show that obviously Dwayne Holmes obviously went off in the last game. He has been ruled out for the season. Obviously, it's a big blow. Obviously, he's always going to, even if he isn't starting, he'll still provide something from the bench. So he's ruled out for the season. Unfortunately, I mean, thoughts on that, Ben? Do you think that's a big, it is a big blow, isn't it? Really, and do you think that we can still, even without him, we can still manage to stay up potentially?
I think without him, we can definitely stay up because I think we've got the backup in the strength of the squad that we've got. Like we've got the likes of Karama and Jackson that can always fit into the position he plays in. So, but obviously, he's a big blow with the quality that he does bring. But like I said, we've got the players to back it up, which is lucky considering the size of the squad that we actually have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we have got some good depth in that area. So, but still, it's always nice to have an extra option from the bench. But it is what it is. We have to keep moving. We've got no time to think about that. Unfortunately, now we have to focus because we've got too many games coming up. This is, April. It's the nitty gritty part of the season. I call it. There's a lot to play for. We at the top and bottom. Obviously, at the bottom for us, we need to try and get out of this. But yeah, it's the business end of the season, and we need to keep focused and focus on the players that are available, as harsh as that sounds. But obviously, wish Dwayne Holmes a speedy recovery, of course. And I'm sure he'll be back next season, stronger for it. He's been really unlucky this season with injuries, to be fair. Obviously, Waghorn will not be available to play in this one, and for the Blackburn game as well, expect to miss out for that game as well. I'm not going to say anything. Obviously, I feel like we played better without Waghorn. So, look, I don't really, it's one of those. I don't want to be too harsh. Blue Terry said, well, Walt did play a right back up front once because of his wife's dream, so don't be surprised if it does happen. I mean, anything's possible with Warnock, but anyway, I will trust Warnock whatever he decides to do, actually. So we'll allow him to, let him do what he wants, of course. He knows best. So, good part. Like I said, I didn't know that, actually. No, I didn't know that. But, thank you for sharing that. Obviously, Aiden's wishing Holmes the very best recovery indeed. Echo those sentiments there. Who else loved Warnock interview? I mean, it was fabulous, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Obviously, 47 minutes of pure joy, and I just loved that interview. So it's definitely worth a watch if you haven't gone to watch it or listen to it. Honestly, really, really emotional, fantastic interview. So go and check that out. I watched it and it was great. So did you manage to catch it, Ben? Did you manage to tune in for that?
I still need to watch it, but from what I've heard, it does seem like a good watch. So I still need to watch that. I've been quite busy, so I'll get on to watching it probably later tonight.
Yeah, it is quite a long one, for nearly 50 minutes, but it's worth every second to listen to for sure. Wancon not available. Ryan is crying. I mean, yeah, what can I say? Let's just leave it there with Waghorn. You just read me like a book, Blue Terrier. So there we are. But yeah, let's get into the lineup then for tomorrow. I mean, I don't know if I should Shall I go first, or do you want to go first?
I'm not. I think we should just do it like however you want. I'll happily go first. I'll happily go second. Whatever you want to do, lad.
Yeah, I'll go first, and then obviously we'll get into yours. So for me, we have to be going for a 4-2-3-1, in my opinion. I just think that formation will suit us in this game. Yeah, so we're on the same page there. That's good signs. Oh yeah, and everybody, get your team lineups in the chat. I'll read them out as well. So yeah, get involved. Like I say, you guys in the chat are always part of this channel. You know that, and you make it what it is. So yeah, let me know your lineups, and we will go through those as well. I've seen Joseph's already put his in, so we'll go through that in a moment. So yeah, as I was saying, obviously Vatchlik obviously in goal. Ruffles, Heelick, Lees, and Pearson at the back. For me, Edmonds Green still stays in the side. I think he did fairly well against Middlesbrough, apart from the odd moment. Like I say, with Akpom, obviously, like I say, obviously he did very well to nullify his threat from most of that game, actually. And obviously at Millwall, he played very well. So you can't drop him for me, just my opinion. And obviously Hogg, obviously, alongside him. And then the three ahead of him there, Karoma, again, starts to me. You can't drop Karoma. He's in the form of his life at the moment. He really is playing well. Radoni down the middle. Come on, Jack. Let's get yourself a goal. He deserves a goal. I'm telling you now. He's on. He's the player for April in the town calendar. So hopefully, I think it's just written in the stars. He'll get a goal in April.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
He deserves it. And of course, I have gone with Jackson on that. On the third attacker there, and then I've gone Ward to lead the line as well. So yeah, that's my lineup. Ben, what are you going for? Obviously, you're going for a 4-2-3-1, but yeah, talk me through your team and why you've kind of selected your team.
So I've gone Vlachlik in goal because the form he's in good form. He's had a couple of mistakes here and there, but when he has been confronted at the times, he's been quite good. Backline, Pearson, Heelick, Lees, and I've said Matt Lowton if he's available.
Ooh, yeah, he was on the bench once he came on as well against Middlesbrough. So yeah.
I've said Matt Lowton, yeah. In the two in the midfield, I've said Hogg and Kasuma. I think if we give Kasuma a shout, I think he'll do well there. And then I've said Radoni, Jackson, and Karoma to lead the three in the middle, and then Ward up top. Yeah,
so your team, you've made two changes compared to mine. I mean, obviously Lowton coming in for you and Kasuma. I mean, to be honest with you, with the load, obviously the games in the past few days, there will probably need to be a bit of rotation between Friday and Monday. To be honest with you, without changing too much. I think Warren kind of alluded to that. He didn't want to change too much, but there will have to be some changes. So interesting. I mean, because I've always liked Kasuma, to be fair. So I wouldn't mind him coming in. Lowton, I mean, he's not been the best since he's come in, and I don't necessarily know.
I think I'd rather save Ruffles for the game against Blackburn and play Lowton left or right back for this game.
I just worry about this.
Yeah, but you can't deny Lowton is very good. Like, in my opinion, he's a very good player. He's got a lot of experience, and I think he just Warnock needs to give him a bit of trust.
Yeah, Doug, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just think that I expected more from him when he's come in. I did, because I did expect him to be a lot better than he has been, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, obviously he has been utilised in different positions, which probably doesn't help. But yeah, fair enough, to be fair. Obviously I understand it, and obviously Kasuma, I think if he doesn't play tomorrow, he'll definitely play Monday. So that's obviously freshening up, that midfield as well. But yeah, we're going to get into your lines now. Obviously, Joseph has gone for 4-2-3-1. Vatchlik in goal, obviously. Pearson, Lees, Heelick, Ruffles, Edmonds, Green, and Hogg in the 2 defensive midfield roles. Koroma, Radone, Diarra. You brought Diarra in, interesting, and Ward up front. But yeah, I mean, that is a really interesting line. I mean, I do like Diarra actually. He does have that extra pace, and obviously he's very lively as well. And yeah, he's done good since he's come in and played for us this season. To be fair, so good shout to obviously test that back line of Watford's with the pace of Diarra. And obviously, who else have you? I think apart from that, you've gone with the same lineup as me.
I
yeah,
think Tiara's too young to start. I think he's better as a bench warmer, in my personal opinion. Obviously, Joseph thinks differently, but I just think, for me, he's a bit too young and needs more experience off the bench and proving himself better before he can actually start. But he is a quality player.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I agree. And I think he does actually make a better impact maybe from the bench at his age as well, because obviously he comes on with maybe tired legs and he can really cause problems as well, even more so. So, yeah, I think I've got to agree with you there, really. Diarra, for me, not a starter just yet. He's too young for me at the moment. Blue Terrier's gone for Vachlik can go. Ruffles, Lees, Healy, Pearson, Hogg, Roman agree. Reg calls him whoever he is. Yeah, as Warnock said, when he first came in. And Koroma, Radoni, Jackson, and what? So you've gone for the same lineup as me. So yeah, Blue Terrier, we've gone snap. We have gone for the same lineup. So yeah, well, what can I say? I agree. I've gone for the same lineup. So yeah. And Aiden's gone for a 4-2-3-1-2, so that formation's favoured a lot. So far, Vachlik in goal, obviously Ruffles, Lees, Healy, Pearson, Hogg, and he's gone for Kasumu as well. So he's gone with you, same as you, Ben, in that, alongside Hogg. And Jackson, Radoni, Koroma, and Ward. So yeah, he's gone with you now, Aiden. So Aiden and you were on the same page.
I mean, he's got Ruffles, I said Luton, so.
Oh yeah, you did. You did.
Relatively the same, pretty much.
Yeah. So nice lineup, though. Yeah, nice lineup. Like I said, if Kasumu starts, I have no qualms about that because I do like him, to be honest with you. So yeah, maybe Edmonds Green obviously played against Middlesbrough. Maybe he may need a rest in this one, but obviously Warnock will know who he feels can start the game and who he wants to. So yeah. But yeah, good shout. Ryan, do you think we will see knockout in a township? No, I do not, unfortunately. Obviously, Warnock was questioned about that in the press conference the other day. And I think he potentially said that he doesn't feel like he's going to be available for the rest of the season. And I said it when he got injured that first time. I don't think we'll see him again. And we haven't. So that signing, all the promise and all the excitement, unfortunately, it's just come crashing down, and it's been a bit of a disaster of a signing, if I'm honest with you. It's a bit of a waste of time. But sometimes you've got to take a risk on a quality player like him. If he's, we know obviously when we did see him, he looked very lively and very good. Actually, he looked very good when we said. But it's just too injury prone, I'm afraid. So it was worth a gamble, I think. But
100%.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Really, it's gutting, to be fair. But yeah, it's one of those. So yeah, no, I don't. Blue Testers can't change a winning team. I mean, that's maybe where my sentiments come from in terms of why my lineup's been, stayed the same. But yeah, you can't. For me, you can't change a winning team because the lads that did well obviously against Middlesbrough. So I just think we have to keep it the same. Yeah. Why change it if it's worked in the past? Yeah, apart from obviously freshening it up. Obviously, we will need to freshen it up, like I said. But yeah, it's one of those. And big up to Uncle Rods. Good evening to you. I hope you're doing well, mate. And thank you for coming by as well and showing your support. Joe says we need to make Watford defence struggle, and Diarra will make that happen. He makes Watford defence tired. I mean, yeah. Obviously, we do want to cause some problems with that Watford defence, definitely. But I think that Diarra potentially may be able to do that from the bench. But I understand why you've started. I'm not saying that, if he started, I'm not going to be up in arms about it, because I do like Diarra, but I just think potentially it may be a player that can come off the bench and make an impact in this one if he does choose to cut. Obviously, if one chooses to bring him on. But yeah, I understand what you mean. If he starts, he can tie the defence from tie the Watford defence out, and then obviously, and then it'll cause them problems, obviously, because then they'll be tired. So they can make changes as well if they need to. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. Blue Terrier says should put Hudlin on the bench in case we need to hold the ball up in the corner with Simpson. I mean, yeah, we still get to see Hudlin even on the bench. It won't be good to see him maybe, but I mean, he's still scoring in the B team, but obviously it is a different level. The B team. I mean, would you potentially maybe put Hudlin on the bench as a bench player, and obviously maybe utilising from the bench? Or what are your thoughts on Hudlin at the moment?
I was excited when I seen we signed him, for the B
Yeah.
team, because I think it will give him a lot of good experience coming from a non-league team. Because obviously he did come from Solihull Moors, I think. I'm not wrong in saying that.
Yeah,
And I think obviously we know he's a tallest player in English football in all the leagues. I think it's a bit too early for him at the minute. You got to let him keep his form up in the B team, and then slowly but surely introduce him maybe in pre-season friendlies when the season's finished. See how he does then maybe bring him onto the bench alongside Simpson and a few other players.
Yeah. To be honest with you, you're spot on again, mate. To be fair, I agree. I think there's no point mushing him into the side, really. You need to manage him well. And yeah, like I say, give him a chance in pre-season and see where he's at then. And yeah, maybe we'll see him a bit more next season. Sure, we'll just have to see. But yeah, Simpson again. Obviously, he's good to come off the bench. I think Simpson at the moment will get. Obviously, is the one favoured over him at the moment. Hudlin is too big for the clubs. The B team are coming up against the hand. I mean, yeah, he is. Yeah, very. He's too. He is. I totally agree with you. So for me, this game is going to be interesting. Like I say, what game do I expect? I think Watford, obviously at home, they will look to try and, they'll definitely have more of the ball. Obviously, we don't like having the ball on one side. Never likes having the ball, but it doesn't matter about that. It's we still managed to win games with the lack of. If you look at the last few games, our possession has been so low, but it doesn't matter because when we have had it, we've utilised it very well. So that's just the way Warnock operates. He's not bothered about possession. He isn't. You just gotta. That's his way. So obviously Watford will have more of the ball. I think that they will. Obviously, we do need to be careful with the attackers they've got because they have got some very good quality going forward. Defensively, they're all right, but like I say, I think that maybe we might be able to get in behind. If Danny Walker makes some runs in behind, he may be able to cause some problems. And obviously, Radoni will be making those runs as he always does, trying to go on the front foot and trying to create something. And Karoma, obviously, the confidence he's probably got over the last few games, he's probably been huge. So Karoma is just going to just do what Karoma does and keep trying to make things happen, of course. So I think Watford's defence are in for a tough afternoon for me. But of course, we know we're in for a tough afternoon as well defensively. So I think there'll be a chance for both sides. I think it'll be a game where they'll have more of the ball, but we just need to make sure that we're solid, don't make any mistakes. And obviously, when we do have it, utilise that ball well, like we have done in the past few games. But yeah, it's going to be an end-to-end game, this for me, I think. A bit of an end-to-end one. And yeah, that's just the way I see it, really. Aidan says, I got to say I was shocked when I saw Izzy Brown retired, but he gives a lot of memories and I wish him... I mean, we are going to go on to that, yeah. I mean, reading his letter that he posted on his socials, I mean, obviously he paid tribute to us as well, of course, which was lovely to see, but it was a very heartfelt message, actually. So we'll go through that at the end, actually, as well. Obviously, we have to mention it because Izzy Brown, of course, as soon Stacey Brown, you remember his time at Town, of course, from our perspective, and what he did for us in that promotion, winning team. Just amazing, and so sad actually that he's had to call time so early on. 26 years of age. It's just so sad, really. But yeah, like I say, I do echo those sentiments. George, I'm saying Watford 0, Town 3. Below me neck. Karoma, Ward, and Hogg. It'd be nice to see Hogg score actually against his former club as well. Yeah, it is his former club actually. I remember now. So yeah, oh wow, that would be a great afternoon for us. Which leads us on to our predictions. For me, I did say my prediction in the show yesterday, which I should have maybe have left it till today. But anyway, I'm going to stick with what I said. I'm going to go 2-0 us, really. I just think that we will be able to keep a clean sheet and, we will be able to create chances and score. So for me, I'm going for 2-0 and I'm going for... who did I say was going to score? I'm probably changed my mind since yesterday, but definitely Radoni. I think Radoni's going to score. And I think that Danny Ward will get a goal. What are you thinking about this? I mean, where are you heading with this one? What are you thinking?
Like I said, I think it's going to be quite a boring game. I think nothing special is going to come, and I think we might drop points. I'm saying a draw. I'm saying a 1-1. I think Pedro to score for them probably early on in the first half, but then we'll score like halfway through the second half, and I'm going to say Karoma to score outside the box.
Yeah, again, that'd be nice. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, if it was a draw, I wouldn't be too despondent because I go back to it. A point away from home is good, and plus, if we can then go on and win against Blackburn, 4 points from 6. I've said 4 points from 6 is the minimum. The next 2 games for me. So if we can do that, then I definitely I'd be happy. But I just feel like this game is there to be won. I do. Honestly, I do. But obviously a draw for you. But yeah, obviously Pedro. I mean, to be fair, to keep that attacking line quiet, for me going with a clean sheet, maybe that's a bit bold. But maybe they're just going to have an off afternoon. I don't know. But I'm going to stick with my score. And oh yeah, we've already gone with that. And Josie's gone for a 3-0 Town as well. Blow I love this confidence, guys. Healick from a corner. Radoni and Pat Jones off the bench. Interesting. Obviously, Pat Jones has been building himself back up, of course, since his injury. I'm not sure if he's going to be available for the first team in this one, but yeah. So wow, we have got some interesting scores there for sure. And Aiden's gone for a 4-1 Huddersfield. Blow me neck. The goals are lots of goals for everybody in this one.
It sounded like the Premier League. This 4-1.
Yeah. He thinks Sarr will score for Huddersfield. I think Karoma, Ward, and he's gone for Hogg too. He's going to have a field day scoring too. Blow me neck. But yeah, interesting. So yeah, I mean, we're just going to have to see obviously what happens. But yeah, for me, this game is definitely there to be won. I think if we can apply ourselves like we have done in the last few games, there's no reason why we can't win this. But yeah, obviously they are at home, so it's going to be tricky. But the key is with this, the way I think, and please say if you disagree, but I think that if you're the away side, you need to try and frustrate that crowd. Keep in the game and frustrate that crowd, because if the crowd get on top of them, then that allows, and that's what happened at Millwall. We frustrated Millwall, and the fans got on the players, and then you could feel that negativity, and then the Town players took advantage of that because they were so. But I mean, do you agree with that? Do you think that the approach should be, frustrate Watford as long as possible, and then the fans will get a bit restless, and then Town can maybe pounce on that and take advantage?
I don't think Watford fans really care, to be honest. Obviously, they do care, but I just think they haven't got a passionate enough fan base to get rattled just like that. Obviously,
Yeah.
Millwall you know what Millwall fans are like. Everyone knows what Millwall fans are like. No one likes them, as they say. No one likes us, but and I think they're just an easy group just to like rattle and just get under the skin very easy. So I think that approach is a good approach. But with Watford, I think it's just to hold the ball as long as you can, pass it round, give it to the key players, and just put the work in and get the goals in. That's what I think we just got to do, and just hold down their attack as long as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, obviously we'll just have to see, like I say, what happens. But yeah, any final thoughts you want to give to the game? For me, I think I've kind of said what I need to say, really.
Yeah, same for me. I think everything that has needed to be said, I've said. Obviously, I think it's going to be. I do think it's going to be quite a boring game to watch. You know, for the travelling fans and for the home fans as well. I'm going to stick with the 1-1. Hopefully, we can get at least a point from this, and it's
Yeah,
just on the up from here.
keep that momentum going. Of course, if we do manage to win the game, we'll have gone 3 matches on the trot, 3 wins on the trot. I mean, that would be huge. If you can, but yeah, even that though, we can if we can keep unbeaten, you know, and then even if we do draw, it'll be big, it'll be huge, really. George thinks we'll get 2 wins in the next game up against Watford and Blackburn. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm feeling the same slightly without being too overly confident, of course, because both teams are there for the taking, and especially at home, we have to make that atmosphere again special on Monday against Blackburn. It
I'm
really
looking
is.
forward to that.
Pardon?
I'm looking forward for the Blackburn game. I think the atmosphere will be quite good.
Yeah, and of course Blackburn are very. For me, whenever I've seen Blackburn, they've not been that great for me. So I feel like we can get at them and actually win that game for sure. But yeah, Aiden says how many fans? I think they said on Twitter that there was over 1,200 travelling tomorrow. So unfortunately, I will not be one of them, sadly. But I'm just too busy this week. This week obviously with moving house and things, so I just haven't got the time, unfortunately. Obviously, I'll be going to the rest of the other games at home. I'm not missing another game now. It's just tomorrow, and obviously, but I'll be watching on the red button. But yeah, good following. Obviously, hopefully we can. Obviously, great following for a Good Friday fixture. But yeah, we need to be good away as well with the atmosphere. We need to make the noise as well in the air, which we always do anyway. But yeah, we will have to go. That's it from us in terms of the preview. But like I was saying earlier, I do want to touch upon this. Of course, it was announced today that Izzy Brown has today sadly announced his retirement at the age of 26. Now I'm going to bring up his letter that he posted. And I'm actually I'm actually going to read this, or maybe read a bit of it. Maybe I should go with the Huddersfield bit. He said that, that he goes into, obviously, the quote that he said there, obviously, he'll never forget getting promoted to the Premier League with us, of course, at Wembley. That will forever be one of the happiest and greatest moments of my life, he says, which, bless him, he really was a key part of that squad, honestly. He was such a great player, and I just feel really sorry for him, to be honest with you, because he's a really talented player, but he was just too injury prone. Obviously, he obviously goes and say about this on the start. He said, "I really don't know where to start." Although I always thought I'd have to write this one day. I just didn't think the day would come so soon. It was with great sadness and a heavy heart that after a long year of struggling from 2 Achilles tendon surgeries, I now have to retire from the professional from professional football. As soon as I could walk, I always had a football at my feet. That was me. That was my happy place. I lived a dream that most don't get the opportunity to live, and for that, I will always be forever grateful. To get to play the sport I love brought many happy times during my life. It also delivered many challenges that I would have been able to get through without the love and support of my family and friends. The sacrifice my mum and granddad made for me from the age of 4 years old. Gave me the chance to live a life I always inspired to live. Driving from Peterborough to West Brom 3 or 4 times a week after school just to get me to train in matches. I'll forever be, you'll always be grateful for that. I think my mum only missed 1 match in my whole life. Wow, that is brilliant. Really, that's really lovely to hear. That just goes to show how much you can really achieve with the love and support from the people close to you. Absolutely agree. Football doesn't define me as a person. I'm a father, a son, a brother, and a friend, and I will still be that after football. I've lived my dream and memories that will stay with me forever. To every club that I've played for, I really appreciate you all for believing in me and giving me a chance to play the game I love. Lastly, I just want to say thank you to all the fans that have supported me and sang my name. There is no greater feeling than hearing that. You mean the world to me and always will. I wish you all nothing but happiness and love. Take care, Izzy Brown. I thought that was a really lovely, really lovely, message. That, I mean, what was your favourite memories of him at town, Ben? I mean, obviously he was part of that promotion-winning side. Obviously, scored a few key goals in that promotion season, of course. But yeah, what memories have you got of Izzy Brown that you can take away? Obviously from his time at Huddersfield.
Obviously, the final at Wembley, he played his part in that. But I think for me, my favourite memory of him is the goal he scored against Leeds to put us 1-0 up at home that season. After being on the pitch for 37 seconds, which was ironically his shirt number as well, to score after 37 seconds, it's just that feeling must have been so good. And obviously being in the stands for that game as well, very, very, very grateful to be there to witness that. And just what a game that was, and just what an atmosphere that we showed.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, like I say, a really fantastic player. Like I say, I think I've got to agree with you. I think one of my favourite memories, obviously, that goal against Leeds, and obviously did manage to score goals against the likes of Ipswich, Norwich, and Wolves. Remember that goal against Norwich? That I think that goal against Norwich secured us a playoff place. Actually, I believe. I think it's right. I'm saying, and obviously, the playoff final. Obviously, I'll always remember him for showing so much commitment and hard work and passion. He's such a lovely guy, obviously, and great. He just gave everything for that shirt, and he was a real. We're really lucky to have him in our squad. To be fair, when we did, so yeah, like I said, obviously wish him all the best. Obviously, in the future, whatever he goes on to do. But like I say, 26 years old. I mean, I hate when players have to retire so young, but it's one of those. He obviously took the advice from the medical teams, and he knew it was coming probably for a while, maybe. But yeah, nothing but fond memories, and he'll always be remembered around here for sure. As part of that special promotion-winning side that we'll always remember, of course. I always used to love him, mate. I thought it was great. And George says, our game has been selected for Sky Sports, so the game takes place on the 30th. You're joking, mate. A 12 o'clock kickoff. Below me neck. I mean, they don't take any consideration for the fans of it at all. I mean, I was going to go to that game, and it was meant to be a 3 o'clock kickoff on the Saturday, 29th. Well, that is really put a spanner in the works. That is just ridiculous. Why would you change it to a 12 o'clock kickoff when it's so far away? That means it's going to be it's really selfish, isn't it? But yeah, as I was saying, obviously Izzy Brown, I'll always, like I say, he'll always be welcome back here, of course. And a guy that obviously it was nice that he touched upon it in his lecture as well about obviously, us as well, which is lovely to see. But yeah, whenever I think of Izzy Brown, I just smile, and I think that's pretty much sums up how we feel about him around here, definitely. So let's look at the league table before we leave. It is really interesting that this league table at the moment, obviously, if results do go our way this weekend, we could potentially be, and we do our job. Even a draw could potentially take us out of the bottom bottom three. And that will be absolutely massive if we can get out of the bottom three in the next 2 games. I mean,
100%.
we've been in the relegation zone pretty much all the season, haven't we? Really, I can't remember when we actually dropped into the relegation zone, but we've been
The
there.
game against Burnley, start of the season, went to the bottom of the league after losing
Yeah,
1-0.
yeah. So we've been in and out of it maybe, but look, how much of a boost if we could get out of the relegation? I know it's obviously doesn't matter about at this stage because there's still plenty of football to go. But if we can get out of the relegation zone in the next couple of games,
Comfortably as well.
yeah, surely that'll really give the players a boost as well, and obviously really feel good about us, and obviously the fans will feel good as well. But we really do need to be steering away from this relegation zone and quickly for me. And I don't mean completely going well adrift, but I just mean if we can get a few points off on the teams in the relegation zone, that'll do with me. Maybe 3 or 4 points gap. If we can accumulate that in the next couple of games, then that'll be good. But like I said, I don't want to be leaving it too late to be But like I said, we never do it the easy way, so you never know, do you? But yeah, we're just gonna have to see. But it's very tight down there as we see. But yeah, let's hope we can climb out that relegation zone now in the next few, and then we can try and just keep picking up the points that we need to see us survive. And then if we do that, exciting summer ahead, of course, and we can just forget about this season, right off this season. If we stay up right off this season, and go again next season with a fresh start and push on, really push on with the with the backing from the owners and a few more players through the door. We can push on and push for promotion for me, hopefully. So yeah, we'll just have to see anyway. Let's just focus on what's to come. For now, we can't think too far ahead. But I'm just saying, if we did, then we can just write off this season and forget about it, But yeah, that's kind of it for today. Well, for this stream, of course, I will be back in about half an hour. As I said, for the watch along for the England women's game as we take on Brazil at Wembley in the final. And I'm not going to say the word because I'm going to mess it up again. But yeah, it's the final, obviously. It's basically when the Euros winners come up against the Copa America winners. So that's why it's a final. Obviously, just over 100 days until the World Cup begins for the women in Australia and New Zealand. So we do kick off our campaign against Haiti on the 22nd of July. And yeah, obviously we've got a game next week, and then that's it until the World Cup. So let's just obviously see what happens tonight. But I'm really looking forward to doing that. And obviously, hopefully, you can join me for that one in just over half an hour's time. But yeah, obviously, this has been a fantastic show as always, Ben. Thank you for coming on.
Of course, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Where can people find you? And of course, you have got some news about your song that's coming out soon. Yeah. So come on, you can promote it as much as you like on this channel. So let us know, let the viewers know where they can find you and what you've got coming up in the next few weeks.
So Instagram is Cooks_official, same as usual. TikTok, BenCook1593. And then on the 28th of April, in 22 days, 12 a.m. midnight, Humble, my brand new song comes out. Big news coming straight after Humble as well with a music video. Hopefully a couple of weeks after, but we'll see. But yeah, make sure to stream it, buy it, do it up on all the big streaming platforms across the UK and across the world when it does come out.
Yeah, absolutely. Big up to you. And like I say, go and give Ben a follow and show your support to the song in a few weeks. Of course, really looking forward to it, that. And of course, music video as well to come as well, which would be exciting as well, definitely. But yeah, big up to you for coming as always. Love having you on here and obviously speaking about Huddersfield for sure. But yeah, and also thank you all for coming into the chat as always. It's been a pleasure to have your company in this one and great contributions. So thank you to everybody that's come in. Obviously, George, Aidan, Joseph, Blue Terrier as always, Uncle Rod's big up to you, Ramsey of course. It's not letting me scroll higher up for some reason, so I can't get his comment off. But yeah, Ramsey, of course, was in at 1 point as well. But yeah, fingers crossed for tomorrow. Let's just go there and give it a good go, as Neil Warnock says, and die for 3 points. Let's die for 3 points. But yeah, safe travels to anybody that is going to the game, of course. I won't be there, so unfortunately you won't see me there. But yeah, safe travels to the game. Hopefully you come back with at least a point or 3 in your back pocket. And yeah, and Aidan says, see you in half an hour. Yeah, we're back, like I say, at 7:30. But yeah, big up to everybody, like I said. And like I say, we'll be back in half an hour, like I said. So, but yeah, big up. And thanks for tuning in. And as always, up the town, Neil Warnock's Birmingham. Come on, let's get a win or point, whatever. Just don't lose tomorrow, and we'll all be very happy. But take care, everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.